Good afternoon and welcome to 10 TV Plus. I'm Dylan Robichaud, Michael Behrens on my side. And man, we went from the warmth of yesterday, we got up to 60 degrees.
Yeah.
Now we have the brisk cold wind, even a little bit of snow out there.
Oh man, it was such a stark change yesterday. When I came into work, it was gorgeous. We're talking windows down, driving to work. By the time I left in the evening, it had just all left. The snow was coming out of the sky. It was a complete reversal.
And now we could be looking at a little bit more in the way of some rain coming into tomorrow and possibly going into Saturday as well. But more warm days are upon us. I think that's really the good news here and what people are probably most looking forward to. Let's jump right into your 10 weather impact. And of course, again today, same old, dealing with the gusty winds out there, gusting up to 35 miles per hour heading into the afternoon hours today. The snowfall has moved out for today, but our next storm will come in tomorrow afternoon. You'll see right now, of course, nothing will be bothering us tomorrow morning. You wake up 7:30, the coast is clear. As we head towards tomorrow afternoon, though, 2 o'clock, 2:30, we get some light showers now moving into the viewing area, and then we see these showers overspreading the area. This is going to be a very light rain. So we're talking under 1/4 of an inch here for rainfall totals tomorrow. Then eventually, as we head towards tomorrow night, it moves out, and that will set us up for a very dry weekend. All right, the wind out there today, very bothersome, around 30 to 35 miles per hour. But as we head towards tonight, finally, we catch a break from the wind. So as we head past 7, 8 o'clock, notice that we see more green showing up on the map as the wind begins to subside. By 7 o'clock tonight, there's hardly any wind compared to how strong it is out there right now. Wind gusts through the next few hours. Look at this, between 25 and around 25 to 30 miles per hour, dropping on down as we get past 7 o'clock. So that's really the cutoff. After dinner time, we get some improvements. Here's how the wind will impact you. Temperatures today will feel much colder. We call it the wind chill. So wind chills today don't even get above freezing. And even as we head towards late tonight, still feeling like the 20s as we're going to be dealing with those pretty low wind chills out there. So the wind dies down tonight, and we don't really see the return of it tomorrow. Gusting up to 15 miles per hour, hey, that's a walk in the park compared to how gusty it was out there today. So I don't know about you. I'm not complaining about that. As we get a look at the weekend, Saturday we're up to around 42 degrees, Sunday up to 53. As of now, I would say Sunday is your pick of the weekend. A little bit warmer, a little bit more sunshine. Definitely can't go wrong with that. Don't forget, Saturday night, we put the clocks ahead 1 hour. Your new sunrise will be at 7:51 a.m. New sunset, 7:34 p.m. I know a lot of folks looking forward to these later sunsets, but we are losing time in the morning. Keep that in mind if you are somebody who wakes up early for work, that the sunrise will be an hour later. 3 weeks from now, we are knocking on the door of an 8 o'clock sunset around 7:53 p.m. as we are getting closer towards April Fool's Day. Can you believe April begins in just a few weeks? So far, 2024 is flying by. In the month of March, in total, we'll gain about 80 minutes of daylight here over the next few weeks. We've already gained about a half hour. We'll gain about 50 more minutes over the next, let's say, 14 days or so. As we look here at the temperatures, though, we start warming on up. This line right here is the average. Notice that as we head towards Tuesday and Wednesday, we are getting so close to that 70-degree mark. And the reason why is because your jet stream is going to be way up there, and this is going to allow that warm conveyor belt of air to move on in as we are tracking daytime highs near 70 degrees. That should be nice. Above average as we head up through the middle of the month, and above average rainfall as well. So the way I see it, both your temperatures and your rainfall above normal as we head towards the middle of March. As we look at the next 10 days or so, here is next week's warm-up, and that sticks out like a sore thumb. So as we look down here at the bottom, we got March 10th, March 11th, March 12th, and 13th. I mean, we are way above average. And so this is borderline T-shirt and shorts weather heading into next week as we see temperatures cruising up to the upper 60s and near 70 degrees. And here you go, feast your eyes on this right here. Lots of sunshine, maybe a few more clouds here by Tuesday, upper 60s expected. And then our next chance of rain is not until the middle of next week, probably around Wednesday. We start seeing our next best chance of rain. We'll be up near 70 with a few more clouds, perhaps by Tuesday night going into Wednesday. Looks like a really nice stretch of weather, though. I'm looking forward to it.
You know, as a lifelong resident of the Midwest, close to 70, absolutely break the shorts out. That is perfect for
and
that.
in March, nonetheless.
Yeah. And, you know, it probably won't last, but as long as it does, get out and enjoy it.
I can't wait to open up the windows.
Yeah.
Finally.
You know, that warm weather next week, Dylan, that's looking good to, you know, get out and watch the sky as well. And for the first time in 3 years, a lunar eclipse will be visible next week. It's on March 14th. The moon will look red. A total eclipse happens when the moon is full and it aligns perfectly with the Earth and the sun. Best part, does not require any special eyewear to go out and see. Right now, that long-term trend, this will be Friday, so a little bit longer than our 7-day forecast. But you know, that pattern looking like it might hold in some of the data.
Yeah,
so,
as we say with solar eclipse, that's when the moon blocks out the sun. Now the Earth is going to be blocking out the sunlight and casting a shadow on the moon.
Yeah, and the best part is, like you said, you don't need anything special to see it. You don't need a telescope. You don't need glasses. You don't need a box or anything weird. Just go outside and even take photos of it.
This will be better than the planetary alignment because you don't have to put effort into it. You can be out there on your balcony and look up and you'll be like, why is the moon doing all this weird stuff?
Yeah, the only thing you got to do is stay up late because this will start at 12:30 in the morning and sort of peak around 1, 2 o'clock. So, I mean, you're going to be up late to see it, but it'll be worth it. It's pretty cool.
Well, if that's the case, I'll probably miss most of it because I'll be in bed at that time.
You might be getting up when the
eclipse
I'll be
waking up. I wake up probably around 2:30. So
there you go. And you know, also Dylan, this week, like you said, looking warm. You can still see the forecast behind me there. Not so bad, but it's a sign we could be heading for another warmer than usual spring.
Excited.
Yeah, we're already getting there. New data out this week reveals trends about our climate during the spring. With severe weather season just around the corner, we did want to take a closer look at how things are stacking up. This is data from Climate Central showing warming since the 1970s. All the counties in red, including most of the Ohio River Valley up to Michigan, down into the deep south, and especially the desert southwest, has seen warming compared to where we were in the 1970s. As far as here in Ohio, we've seen a pretty large amount of this warming. In fact, our temperature is up about 3.8 degrees compared to where they used to be during the 1970s. And so far this month, we're about a 50-50 split on above to below average days. But that forecast, as we showed you, we're kind of heading back in that direction. And that's been the general trend for us as well. Since the 1970s, we've added about 16 days through meteorological spring that are above that normal level. That's from March through May, March 1st to May 31. We've added those 16 days. As far as looking at what that could mean for severe weather season, it's hard to say for sure. Temperature is more warm than the atmosphere. It can certainly lead to stronger storms, but it's not the only factor. Comparing it to last year, where we did set that record for tornadoes in Ohio, it was a warm one. We had 18 of 31 days above normal in March, 16 above in April, and 21 above in May. April was about on that average warming trend from the 1970s, but both the months of March and May well above average for that time of the year. In fact, close to 5 degrees warmer than average. Does that mean we're going to see another record year this year? Not necessarily, but it's worth keeping an eye on. Again, last year set that record of 74. Also worth noting, all of these dates have been since the 1970s, where we've been setting those high number of tornado years. As far as what this spring is looking like, well, we're already seeing some of that warmth in our forecast, and that lines up with the forecast from the Climate Prediction Center as well. This is the outlook for temperatures through May 31st. We are again trending above average when it comes to those temperatures. So
I wonder what that means for a tornado season.
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying, it's not the only factor that plays into it, but in spring, we know we're not going to stay warm the entire time, but we get really warm. It's got to come down somewhere, and usually that means storms when it does.
And, you know, before you know it, we're going to be in these humid days. So I'm looking forward to a little bit of the ebb and flow, if you will, with the pattern before we get into that real summertime heat.
Yeah, in the summer, we know it's going to be hot. We had lots of days in the 90s last year, so hopefully we get some temperate weather between now and then. And, you know, spring, like I said, just around the corner, but like you were also saying, We had some snow out there last night.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. A little bit of snow this morning. But thankfully, it wasn't nearly as bad as what they saw out in the plains. This is video from Calhoun County, Iowa, where blizzard conditions set in on Wednesday. The Iowa State Patrol blaming whiteout conditions for dozens of crashes from Tuesday night through Wednesday. They included a pileup on Interstate 35 outside Des Moines and numerous wrecks on Interstate 80. This was all part of a major storm system that moved across the country in recent days. Amy reports on the impacts.
It's a story of fire and ice as many states cope with severe weather today. Forecasters say a critical fire danger is back in Texas and the Southwest after this week's evacuations in parts of the Lone Star State and Tennessee.
It was just pitch smoke, like everything was hard to see.
A winter storm with near record strength is pushing out of the U.S. today. At least 3 people are dead due to severe thunderstorms in Mississippi. Police say 2 others died in Nebraska's winter weather. Parts of the Midwest are digging out after blizzard conditions. The resulting snow is a hassle for some.
I totally got stuck by the snow, and I'm trying to remove snow, so it's kind of ironic, right?
For others, the winter weather is a blast.
I got the laptop at home, but I shut that, come outside and make a magic moment with her.
Now a new storm system around the Great Basin is bringing rain or snow to multiple states today.
There will be mud again.
In L.A. County, parts of Sierra Madre are under evacuation warnings due to the risk of mud flows. The area is saturated from rain earlier this week, and this nearby debris basin is clogged from last month's storms. Some residents fear a repeat of that disaster.
It just washed all the soil away from underneath the house.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And finally today, let's check out some new video into us here at 10 TV. First, if you live anywhere that sees significant snowfall, you know just how time-consuming it can be to clear that snow. But life could be getting easier thanks to a robot created by a Minnesota college student. It's a video of the latest version of University of Minnesota seniors Mark Minkov's snow-clearing robot named Navoso. Max set to graduate from the university in May and hopes that Navoso will be a full-time gig right out of college. In fact, he's already got some contracts for it.
He needs to go on Shark Tank.
I mean, that looks just infinitely easier than any other way to get rid of the snow. I mean, I'd be an investor.
Mark Cuban and Mr. Wonderful would eat that up.
I mean, that is a cool little robot there, and looks to be powerful too. I mean, that's not a small
He didn't
Roomba.
leave a flake of snow behind.
Yeah, I will take that over shoveling any day.
I do like shoveling. It's a good workout.
Definitely a good workout, but you know, you gotta be careful too. Have you ever wondered, by the way, what a sonic boom looks like? Oh, now you can see it. This image is the sound barrier being broken last month as America's first civil supersonic jet finished its second test flight at speeds exceeding Mach 1. NASA made the invisible visible by using special photography to capture the shock waves around the boom on the supersonic demonstrator aircraft, the XB-1, as it pushed through the air. To get the shot, the pilot had to position the XB-1 in a precise location at the exact time over the Mojave Desert. The aircraft flew in front of the sun, and NASA's team documented the changing airspeeds with a process that involved ground telescopes, special filters that detected the air distortions.
Wow.
Check that out. That is a wild picture.
You have to be going super fast.
Absolutely. I mean, just smashing through the sound barrier. I don't know if you've ever heard one of those sonic booms before, but I did as a kid. Wasn't expecting it. Jet came by. Boom. Scared the daylights out of me.
Too bad we can't.
It's so loud.
Too bad passenger jets can't travel that fast, because that would be. Yeah. Imagine how fast you could get across the country.
I was going to say, they used to have supersonic jets. They only went from like New York to London, though, or New York to France back, I think it was like the 90s, early 2000s. They got grounded. But, you know, they're doing tests. We might get back there again.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, that does it for us here on 10 TV Plus. Not to worry, though. Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz will have your forecast tonight at 6.